Okay. I don't know. Here, check it out. All these flavors, and you choose to be salty. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of that thing in the corner of my desk. It's a fountain, like a little water fountain that just keeps going and going and going and just running water. It's supposed to be peaceful. It's got Buddha on it. Makes me happy that way. But I'm gonna do my best to do this stream, and hopefully someone pops in and says hello. Would be lovely if someone was to say hello. But anyway, this is all coming from Linux, from OpenSUSE, and yeah, so that's what I'm using to stream right now. I am monitoring and keeping up with the stream itself over here on my screen, and I've got chat down here, OBS up here, and I can see myself here live and then see what I got going on over there. I can't hear it because if I hear it, then you'll hear it loop back through, and it's a pain in the rump. Mostly because I haven't figured out how to cut echo cancellation and stuff from Linux yet, but I'm getting there. Anyway, how the heck are you guys? I know, like, I haven't really streamed a whole lot. I haven't been online a whole lot. I've not done a lot of anything. So, yeah, it is what it is. I hope you guys are having a good day. We're starting our spring break with the kids, and it's Masters Week, so like Augusta is just totally bombarded with people. The women got to play on the Nationals field or greens or whatever for the first time in history, so that's fun. A lot of really excited women were all over the area, and good for them, you know. I mean, I'm glad they got to play like everybody else. I mean, if they're good enough to play, let them play. That's how I feel about any sport. If you're good enough to play, you should be able to play. Let these people at least play and show you that they're good enough to do so. Otherwise, who cares? But yeah, they did pretty good. From what I understand, there was a 16-year-old girl who did really good, and there's another lady who was like top. They knew she was going to be top going in, and she was top coming out. So there you go. Augusta news, right? Yeah. Anyway, so like the title says, let's talk Linux and my PC. So I have a MSI B350M Bazooka motherboard, and if you don't know what that is, it's a Ryzen motherboard, AM4 motherboard, and it has 4 RAM slots and M.2 and all the good things, all the things you would want from a motherboard. It's there, it's got them. And I got the computer with a Ryzen 5 1400. It was a 4-core and 8-threaded CPU, and that was okay, you know, that was okay. So let's turn this down just a little bit. Okay, so no, wait. Let's really cut it down there. Okay, so anyway, so I bought a Ryzen 7 1700, 8-core, 16-thread, and I switched it out. And the computer came with 8 gigs of RAM, so I switched that out with 32 gigs of RAM. And when I switched to 32 gigs of RAM, I noticed that I was getting some small little glitches in Windows, and just overall general Windows was just annoying me. Some things just I didn't like, and so I decided that I would grab a copy of Linux and just throw it on here and see if it did any better, if it ran smoother. But that's the thing, it didn't. It didn't run smoother. Actually, on the few occasions that it ran at all, it ran poorly. So on through diagnosis, I mean, because if you install Linux on a machine and it does not work, you've got a bad part somewhere. And the problem is that you don't know which part's bad. There's no like check engine light that says, hey, there's something wrong, and then you can just plug a OBD on and it'll tell you exactly what the check light code was and what part of your computer is bad. There is no OBD for the computer. Basically what you have to do is narrow it down one item at a time. So step one, I had just thrown a new hard drive in to install Linux on, so let's test the hard drive. And I tested the hard drive came back fine, nothing wrong with it. Okay, so I know it's not the hard drive. At least it's not the hard drive when it comes to Windows, because Windows installed on the hard drive works just fine. So the hard drive is okay. And like I said, Windows was running okay, even with, you know, everything there. Windows was running fine on the main hard drive, so it had to be something else, right? Like I was thinking, okay, it's got to be Linux. It's got to be, yeah, I don't know what it is. So I noticed that when I downloaded files, like the files for Linux, the checksums wouldn't match up. And it was telling me that even though I downloaded from a Linux distribution's website, I was getting a bad download. And I thought, okay, let me test my internet speed and see what my speed is. So I check the Ethernet cable, and I'm getting nowhere near the speed that I was supposed to be getting. So I ruled out that it's probably well, I came to the conclusion it was probably a bad Ethernet cable giving me a bad install. So I got rid of that and switched to Wi-Fi. Same thing was happening. So now we know that I had a bad Ethernet cable, and I just put in a new hard drive, so maybe the hard drive, but it tested out, it's fine. So the next step was to figure out what the bugs were in Linux. And that wasn't really all that super easy. So what I did was I looked it up, and it came back that the Ryzen 7 1700 had a performance marginality issue when they first launched and started making the Ryzen 7 1700s. So the only way to find out whether or not I had one of those faulty processors was to take the system apart, and at that time I didn't have any extra thermal paste, so if I pop the cooler off, I'm done until I get some thermal paste, you know, so I didn't want to do that. Instead, I contacted Amazon. I was still under warranty, I was still under replacement time, and I said, hey look, I am getting this error consistently every time I run Linux, and there's a known issue with AMD, and they were super nice. They were like, okay, here, you know, we'll ship you a new one, and you just ship us your old one back. So that's what I did. So a couple days go by, I get a new processor, and I tear apart the system, and I replace the processor with a new one. The old one, I don't know if it has the bug or not. It's after the production weeks that they had the bug, but you never know. So I switched it out and sent the old one back. So anyway, I go on about checking things, and I'm still getting the bug with the new processor. Okay, so now I have checked everything. I've checked all my cables. I have disassembled the computer completely down to every piece, basically, and put it back together, reran all the cables so the cables aren't, you know, some cables aren't touching, others are wrapped together, you know. Anything that I could think of that could make this bug happen, I took the time to make sure it wasn't possibly there. And it left me two things. My motherboard or my RAM. One way or another, my motherboard or my RAM was bad, and I had to figure out which. So step one was to pull all the sticks of RAM out and test each one in each slot, the motherboard. So the first one failed in slot 1. The second one failed in slot 1. The third one failed in slot 1. The fourth one failed. So do I have all bad RAM? Let's start over. And instead of doing the same thing for each stick individually, I'm going to run the sets. Alright, because I bought 2 sets of 16 gig kits. And so I slap in the first set in 1 and 2 and it fails. I stick in the second set in 1 and 2 and it fails. So do I have bad RAM or do I have a bad motherboard? I don't know yet. So I put the first set back into slot 2 and 4 on the separate the second channel. Passes. No problem. So I pop those out and stick the first set back in, or the other set in, you know, into 2 and 4 on that separate channel, and it fails instantly. Okay, so now I'm thinking that I have a bad kit of RAM, which is this kit, this Vengeance by Corsair, or Vengeance LPX by Corsair. So logically, the first step is to go to Best Buy where I bought the RAM, and I go to Best Buy and they tell me, no, we're not going to replace them. We're not going to let you return them. You're not getting a refund. You're not getting anything except for call Corsair. Mind you, I spent $1,300 that day. I bought 2 laptops. I bought 2 Wacom's, little tablets for drawing this stupid, extremely stupid little thing here. I bought 2 of these, 2 laptops, a TV. I bought RAM, and I don't even remember what else, but we bought a bunch of stuff, and you know, I spent $1,300, and they're going to look at me and tell me that it's been more than 15 days, and basically you're just SOL, move on. So I tell that manager that the receipt that I was holding from Best Buy in my hand, which is the receipt that's in that bag, is the last receipt that I will ever get from Best Buy, because I will never buy anything there again. It's amazing that that they would sell a product that's broken, and then if you go more than 15 days, you're just SOL. You're not getting anything from them. They're not going to help you in any way other than to tell you figure it out on your own. So I'm pretty much done with Best Buy. I don't know. I called Corsair, and I called Corsair, and he put in a ticket for me, and They wanted pictures of the RAM that show the serial numbers and the part numbers, and they wanted pictures of the receipt, the entire receipt that shows where I bought it, what day I bought it, and the items listed that match what I'm saying I'm asking for. So after doing that, they approved it pretty dang quickly, and so we got it approved, and I'm waiting to ship the RAM out in the next day or so. The problem is it's super busy, and anyway. Gotta check on these kids every now and then. Anyway, so I'm gonna RMA the RAM, and hopefully when I get a new kit back in the next day or so, after I ship it. They said it takes 2 days, like from the time they get it, within 2 days they will ship a replacement, just to make sure they get it and process it. So I'm gonna get a new set of RAM, and hopefully when I stick it in the computer it just works. If it doesn't, and I get the same problems, then I know for sure it is my motherboard, and at that point I don't know what to do. I have no warranty on it. I bought the computer refurbished from Best Buy, of all places, over a year ago. So I'm absolutely certain that my warranty is non-existent at this point for the motherboard. But you know, it's okay. So back to Linux. Once I realized that I had a bad set of RAM and pulled that set from the computer and ran the known good set in slots 2 and 4 on that second channel. Maybe it's the first channel. I don't know, second or first. Anyway, it goes it's white, gray, and I'm running in the gray slots, which I'm calling 2 and 4. So with 2 8GB sticks, one in each gray slot, I've got OpenSUSE here running fantastically. I wasn't even able to get OpenSUSE to go to the install screen. It would just like start downloading. It'd get to 11-12% and then just crash. And I've been running for a couple days now, and it's quite nice, really. I mean, it really is very nice. So yeah. There's some little things that annoy me that, I wish it was, I don't know how to say it. Like, I wish it was easier to use on some things, but I'll get used to it. OBS is running great. I'm using 5.8% to 6% of my CPU. I have dropped no frames in the last 20 minutes. Now granted, I'm not doing anything like crazy serious, a whole bunch of moving around and all that stuff, but it's doing what it was meant to do. It's grabbing my camera and it's letting me live stream to you guys, and to me that's therapy, and I definitely need some therapy right now. Anyway, it is what it is. My wife was nice enough, the banker was nice enough to get me a, oh boy, a pet gecko. Well, started off, they caught a house gecko at the hotel, and she brought that home, and we kept it for a few days, and it wouldn't eat. It didn't want to eat. It didn't want to come out of its little hide that we made for it, and so I let it go, and I bought a leopard gecko, which he's over here. You can't really see him, but he's over there in a 10-gallon aquarium, and I really need to get some more stuff from it. I got him a under tank heater, so he's kind of warm, and I keep the bedding moist so that he's got plenty of moisture, so it's humid and stuff. But and he's a good eater. He likes to eat, that's for sure. He does like to eat, and so somebody's jamming. But anyway, so I've got this leopard gecko, and his name is Sparky, and he kind of looks like a Mac snow leopard gecko. Yeah, he looks like a Mac snow. Just kind of like he's kind of got that. Like, I don't know what he is. He could be just like a stupid normal for all I know. But he really looks like, you know, like he's just, I don't know. I'm gonna post a picture of him in this group in a little bit that I joined, and see if anybody there can like help me identify what, you know, if he's anything more than just normal. But yeah, anyway, so it's been 20 minutes, man, and like, I don't know, I got stuff to do, man. Like, I hate sitting here. I mean, I sit here all day anyway, but like, I hate sitting here. I've flipped my room around probably like a dozen times in the last couple months. I don't know, like, I just get tired of seeing it in a certain way, and I feel like the furniture that I have in this room there's a way to put it, and I just haven't found it yet. But who knows, maybe this is the way. Maybe this is the way. Do you know the way? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Hope you have a good day. And yeah. Bye, guys.